Good morning and welcome to DC Today. I'm Del Walters. Anquinette Crosby will join us shortly. In a moment, we will talk politics, everything from the Lincoln Project to soaring coronavirus numbers to a Tulsa rally that now appears to have been an infestation. And also we'll talk about breaking news that occurred even as we spoke concerning the president's taxes. But first, the latest. Joining us now, our political roundtable. We have with us a newcomer this morning, Terri Austin, attorney and activist in Harlem, New York. We have Jesse Holland, back in his home base now of Washington, D.C., and also of George Washington University. And we have political activist and strategist Brian Woolfolk here in Washington, D.C. And Terri, since you're the newbie, we'll start with you in a moment. But first, we want to take a look at the Lincoln Project is at it again, this time using the words of Ronald Reagan to take on Donald Trump. Take a look.
There's mourning in America. Today, more than 60,000 Americans have died from a deadly virus Donald Trump ignored. With the economy in shambles, more than 26 million Americans are out of work, the worst economy in decades. Trump bailed out Wall Street, but not Main Street. This afternoon, millions of Americans will apply for unemployment. And with their savings run out, many are giving up hope. Millions worry that a loved one won't survive COVID-19. There's mourning in America. And under the leadership of Donald Trump, our country is weaker and sicker and poorer. And now, Americans are asking, if we have another 4 years like this, will there even be an America?
Paid for by the Lincoln Project, which is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So, Brian, you're the one that always seems to react most vociferously, I think that's the word that I'm trying to find, to these Lincoln Project ads. They have a knack of getting under Donald Trump's skin.
They do, because they are able to articulate in a very short form what the challenges are and why Donald Trump is so inconsistent with leadership in this country. They do an effective job, and in fact, they're the best organizers of the Democratic Party right now. There's another Lincoln Project ad that just dropped regarding where they're going after all of the senators that are supporting Donald Trump. And that one is also a very damning ad and really gets under Trump's skin, but it really just portrays the crazy place that we're in our history. And the Lincoln Project, once again, has done itself honorably and done the right thing.
And Terri, the reason I have invited you on to join us in this merry band of political analysts is because normally they're wrong, and I am the lone voice of dissent. So I've invited you to join me to point out when they are wrong, if you think they are wrong. Does Brian have it right this time?
I think Brian has it right this time. I have to say, I do think the group is doing the Democrats a favor. They are actually very quickly doing these ads and putting them on and responding immediately to what is occurring with Trump. And it's hitting at his spots where he is most vulnerable, his personality, his ability to do the job, his health. So I think it is going to bode well for the Democrats.
And that did not bode well for you, since you did not disagree with Brian. But Jesse, I'll let you take a stab at it.
Well, we also have to keep in mind that they're not only going after Trump, they're also going after the Republicans who are disgusted with what the president has been saying and doing over the last 3 years. Those are the people those ads are actually targeted at. It's fun to poke at President Trump, but he's only one vote. They're going after those old school conservative, fiscally conservative Republicans who don't want anything to do with President Trump's culture war. They're trying, in their minds, they're trying to save the Republican Party and keep it from becoming the Trump Party by targeting those Republicans and telling them not to ally with him this time. In the previous presidential election, those Republicans hated Hillary Clinton so much that they could not stand the idea of voting for her. They would have voted for anybody but Hillary Clinton. Now, the Lincoln Project is trying to point out all of the flaws that Trump has proven he has and telling those Republicans this time, don't vote for it.
Terri, Democratic strategist James Carville, dating back to the Clinton administration, says that Donald Trump is not only a lame duck, he is in essence a cooked duck. He says that they are now bypassing Donald Trump and going after the senators, which appears to be what the Lincoln Project is doing. Do you agree that Donald Trump has now lost his luster with Republicans, as 5 of them now are saying they won't even go to the convention?
Well, we'll see if that actually holds true, Dell. We've seen in the past that the polls were wrong. We've seen in the past that they've talked to people who are coming out of the voting polls and actually saying one thing and actually have done another. So I do think Trump is someone that we should always take very seriously. I do think that for whatever reason, his base does not want to leave him. And I think the Lincoln Project is doing Democrats, as I mentioned, a favor, because they're not only attacking Trump, they are also attacking the Senate. And so if in fact the Democrats win the Senate over, then we will not be able to be blocked when we are actually trying to move legislation forward.
Ryan, tell me you don't agree with it.
I can't tell you that because everything she said was correct, of course. The dynamic right now, I agree, is a dynamic in order to save the Republican Party from the Lincoln Project. You have people whose money is on the line. They're fine with Trump as long as he's passing tax cuts and gutting regulations, but they get a little sensitive when it comes to affecting their money. These culture wars are affecting their money and empowering people in the country who long-term, they probably aren't really supportive of empowering, but they got to get the reins back to this Republican Party because it's completely going off the chains. It's undermined their trade policies. It's undermining their long-term regulatory policies. It's undermined their economic policies. And at this point, Trump is a clear and present threat to them just as much as he is to minorities.
We're going to take a break because the producers are telling me I have to. But when I come back, Jesse, I want to start with you and pick up on something that I heard in something that Terri said. Are Democrats scared with regards to the polls and everything that they're seeing with regards to the Trump administration? We'll talk about it when we come right back, so stay with us.